Hey everybody. So, as you see in some of my videos, I went in for colonoscopy. Colon cancer did kill my father's mother. And one of the things that where it starts is in polyps. And I was having some symptoms. Um, and it's best to just know yourself, you know your body. And I started noticing blood. I did. I had some bright red blood. So something was going on in the lower gut, for sure. And then there was pain. It hurt to go. And really, it's not like me to be constipated. So colon cancer can go either way. Just so everyone knows, you can get constipated or diarrhea or get alternating of both. There's a lot of stuff online about Cologuard tests and, oh, that didn't catch my cancer, blah, blah, blah. Well, Cologuard, it's called a guaiac test, and they just put your stool under a slide to look for blood that maybe you can't see with the naked eye. But it's not a cancer test. I know it talks about that, and that's because typically cancer is, if you don't have any bowel diseases, cancer is going to do that. But cancer starts as polyps, is what they found. It's happening to younger and younger people. And so when I turned 45, my GP was like, "You need a colonoscopy." I'm like, "Why do I need a colonoscopy? I'm awfully young, you know?" Um, And so finally, I did kind of start having symptoms. I only had it for a month, monitored it for a month, and I was like, yo, this is not me. This is not normal. I got to get in. So it started with just diarrhea, random diarrhea, a lot of it for no reason, and that alarmed me. I was like, wow, I didn't eat anything new. Did I pick up a virus somewhere? What's going on? But then immediately after that, from then on, constantly was constipation, like bad. And I don't get constipated. It's just, I don't do either of those. I'm normally very regular. Not to talk about that, it's kind of gross, but that's the nature of it and how you get in. And so that went on for a couple of weeks of not being able to go. And then I noticed it started to hurt. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. And then I saw blood. And it was bright red blood. And it was throughout the stool. So it wasn't streaking it. If there's blood on the outside of the stool, kind of in a line on the outside, that's your hemorrhoids bleeding. And that's benign. But this was throughout. And so what that looks like is you're just definitely going to notice that there's blood everywhere. Um, there's no streaking, nothing like that. And so I have had the bleeding from the hemorrhoids. Those get better with age. They toughen up and calm down. So that hasn't happened for a long time, but the blood throughout definitely is not good. So I had, first it was loose, then it was hard, then there was the pain, and then there was blood, all within the course of about 6 weeks. And I was just, you know, something just told me something was wrong with that first bout of loose stool. I was like, wow, okay. Something in my mind just panicked. There was this, normally it's no big deal. You're loose every once in a while. It doesn't set off any alarm bells or anything. But this, for some reason, in my mind, there was just this boom, something's wrong. Something's very wrong. This doesn't make, something just in me said something's very wrong. So that put it in my mind. I listened in my mind and I said, okay, that was alarming and I'm going to watch. And that's when I started to pay attention, of course, because that was my body alerting, hey, pay attention. And yeah, when I noticed, okay, why am I constipated? I'm hydrated. I eat tons of fiber. I shouldn't be having any problems, like, at all. So this is unusual. And then, of course, it started to hurt. Not good. And the blood. So I did the colonoscopy, and sure enough, um, colon cancer starts in polyps. And I figured I definitely had a polyp if there was blood. I figured it was either in my sigmoid or rectum because I was having the pain. And also the blood was bright red, which means that it's toward the end of the bowel. If you have black tarry stool, that's when it's further up in the bowel. So based on my pain, I was like, okay, this is going to be in the rectum or sigmoid colon, which is the very, very end. And sure enough, they did find 2 polyps in there. One in the sigmoid, one in the rectum. They got them for me. They said it was benign in appearance, but that would have turned into colon cancer eventually. So just to let you know, the Cologuard tests are only looking for blood. Okay, and you don't have to have bleeding with colon cancer, especially in early phases. I mean, for me, it was the pain and the abnormal stool, because your body senses that something is there that shouldn't be there, and it wants to get rid of it. So it's either going to have liquid stool. That didn't work. Okay, well, then we'll try to tear it off with a firm stool. So it's your immune system reacting to, ick, get this out of here. And you don't get in, that will become cancer. It's hard. They were small, so it's hard to say how long it would have been. But just to let you know that Cologuard is not meant to be an alternative to a colonoscopy. I'm glad I went in. I was uncomfortable and there was blood. I noticed it quickly because I was paying attention. Um, Looking at your stool after you go, don't think you're weird for it, okay? Because that's a good indicator of your health. Is that right there? Bowel health is essential. And yeah, you could miss something. So do pay attention to your body, okay? If you have something like that happen where it seems benign, like a little bit of loose stool is no big deal. It's nothing to be alarmed about, but something in my mind just went, wow. Something in me said, no, something's wrong. And listen to it, okay? So you know yourself well. And I knew that constipation for me is just not a thing. Shouldn't be having it. And so my body was alternating, trying whatever means to get that polyp out because it's irritating your gut, right? And that would have become cancer. Don't know why it's happening mostly to younger people. So I'm in my 40s and they're starting to kind of see it in people in their 40s because cancer has always been, majority of it is a 50 plus thing. As your immune system goes kaput, your ability to fight cancer, which you're fighting cancer right now and don't know it. Our bodies are amazing, but for some reason, there's brand new super aggressive cancer showing up in younger and younger populations, and people are getting these very aggressive cancers very young. And you don't have to be doing anything wrong. You don't have to eat wrong. They don't know what's going on. But the fact that it's happening to younger folk, if it's colon cancer is the biggest thing showing up, and I really do think it has a lot to do with diet. So in any case, I wanted to share that the hardest part about the colonoscopy is just the The purge is miserable. It really is. But for me, like, the diet change. The diet change was, ugh, yeah, it made me sick. Because you have to eat really bad food for a little while, but the process was really easy. I had a great team. They took great care of me. And there's no downtime. Um, I wasn't sore. I didn't have any evidence that anything had been done to me at all. I just went to sleep. I woke up and boom. Um, I have noticed, so I'm no longer constipated and there's no blood, right? So the polyps were aggravating things in there. And I've been normal since. So definitely, that Cologuard is not a replacement for actually getting a camera in there, and then they use a wire to snare off and cauterize off your polyps, which I'm glad I went in, right? Because that would have become cancer, and colon cancer did take my grandmother. So, yeah, any case, a lot of misconceptions about that Cologuard test. Oh, I got the test, and what? How do I have cancer? It showed up negative. It's not. It's not a replacement. Cologuard is not a camera. It can't see your polyps or anything like that. You can have a really, really good sized polyp that is very cancerous and spreading rapidly and have no symptoms too. Um, it can be it's scary the way it can move like that. But in any case, that's my experience. It really isn't that bad, but don't go anywhere. When you're prepping for one, just don't. Keep your jammies on. Uh, just stay home. Take the days off work. I would not go to work when you're prepping for one. Do follow the directions. Don't eat when they say not to. Don't put your team through that, okay? They work hard. The least you can do for your healthcare providers is make sure your gut is cleaned out by following the directions, okay, you guys? Because when they get those cameras in there and you ate, yeah, not good. So, just a little bit on colonoscopy and how important they are and that they potentially did save my life. Take care. Don't get scammed.